All right. Welcome back to Sound on Sports. This is going to be a Hawks only episode following that electric win. We're filming this 15 minutes after the game ended, so this is pure live reaction.
Dude.
What?
We watched
what?
2 games.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Come on, man.
Well, Brody,
Let's fucking go.
Brody, welcome back. Your quick
Thank you.
exit for episode 1.5. Brody, we'll give you the ball. Live reaction. What were your thoughts for that game?
Yeah, first and foremost, sorry I couldn't be with you guys in the last episode. I was watching, Grandpa Philip just dot us up and down the field from a little condo in Hawaii. And was watching that game in the hot tub with my best friend Woody and shitting our pants in front of a bunch of 60, 70, 80-year-olds over beating an actual grandfather playing in the NFL. And then we get to this game, man. What a fucking game. Seattle Seahawks, 38-37, overtime thriller. I don't even know where to start, man. Like, I guess we'll start from the very fucking beginning, I guess. I mean, the Seahawks defensively, I thought we came out very good. We get that fourth down stop early in the game. And then from the beginning, it just looked like the Seahawks. We knew what we wanted to do. We saw the last game. Sam Darnold, we had him drop back a ton, got overly aggressive, made a lot of bad decisions. 4 picks ultimately cost us the game. From the very beginning, you could tell simple stuff for Darnold. Let's get him on some little play action, easy routes in the flat, little screen passes, stuff like that. They didn't really want to drop him back all too much, and they kept it very, very simple. And obviously, we got that big Kenneth Walker play early. We go up, Charbonnet touchdown. And then the first and second quarter, man, it was just the Rams just little slow, methodical drives, man, just kind of wearing down the defense. Like they were getting first. It wasn't like there was a couple chunk gains, but really it was just short stuff. And was just keeping our defense on the fucking field forever. Like, I think the Seahawks finished with like 6 pass attempts to end the first half.
Yeah.
It was absolutely unbelievable, man. And I'll tell you what, fuck this guy. Actually, fuck this guy, Puka Nacua. He was a problem today, okay? He was a problem. He was big, physical. Our corners couldn't really fucking deal with it. He is a bitch, though. We'll get to that later, I'm sure. He is a fucking pussy, and I'm glad we fucking beat their ass. Seriously, man. What a crybaby. Anti-Semite, I heard, by the way.
Anti-Semite that streams with incels. The first half of that game, yeah, Sam Darnold was 4 for 6, but the time of possession was the biggest marker there. I mean, yeah, it was 20 minutes for LA and 9 for Seattle. So obviously, Sean McVay came in with a plan. The weather was obviously a huge factor, running the ball and just getting methodical plays and really able to reach the third level of our secondary with play action plays. It was like, going for it on the first fourth down didn't work out, but he went for 2 more in the span of that half. And it really just extended their drives. Every time the defense got them to 3rd and long, they were letting up, a really big chunk play. And that's what really kept them on the field. The offense came out and scored a touchdown on their first drive and looked great. It looked like, okay, Seattle's going to be able to keep up. And then LA made adjustments pretty quickly and took advantage of, not having Charles Cross in the game. So, I mean, and in the first half, we have this costly turnover by Cooper Kupp. I mean, it's just like, as a veteran, you expect him maybe to hold on to it. I know adrenaline, and it was kind of a bang fumble, but that really cost us momentum going into the second half. And it looked grim, and it continued into the third and a little bit into the fourth quarter. Sam Darnold throws 2 of the worst picks I've ever seen in my life. The first one being the worst pick I've ever seen in professional football, of him staring down a 2-man read. All the guy had to do was stop and read it like a book. So that really put us at a disadvantage. And then obviously driving all the way back down the field and throwing a pick to a D lineman in coverage. So you kind of thought this game was going to be over with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Then this is where, John Schneider cooked, when acquiring Rashid Shaheed, another huge punt return and short yardage there. And it sets us up to now, have a little bit more momentum and just coming down and tying the game. But I guess we'll before we get into kind of that second game, I was telling Brody before we got on, it's like we watched 2 games here. So before we kind of get to how we tied the game and how overtime proceeded, J. Ross, do you have any thoughts about the Seahawks' slow start and just inability to keep up with Los Angeles?
It's the same thing we talked about last episode in the preview and the reaction of the Colts. This is I don't even know how many games in a row now where the Seahawks just don't play football in the first half. And this seems like another parallel we keep talking about with this and the golden era, 2013 Seahawks. I swear I just keep getting flashbacks to it where they like to make every game ugly. You cannot, if you're a Seahawks fan, you are signing up to have blood pressure problems because even the wins that should be easy are not easy. And we just seemed in that first half, especially anytime we had any momentum, we just would shoot ourselves in the foot over and over again, one way or another. And that's kind of been the theme going into today, honestly, until the fourth quarter. And I'm really hyped right now. And I know that when I actually look back at this game later this week, I might not be as thrilled with, the full game. But right now I'm as happy as you can be because that ending was electric.
Yeah, and then before we get into that, just that second part where, like Fatty said, two completely different games. And I again, tiny bit of credit here because we're gonna fucking shit on the Rams the rest of this fucking pod, and I can't wait. But in the first half, like Fatty said, completely different game. And Matt Stafford, he is truly right up there with the best of the best. And his ability to just dissect our defense is insane, man. With the Seahawks, we confuse almost every quarterback we play with a bunch of different stunts, a bunch of different looks, and Matt Stafford was just dissecting it just like that. Sean McVay was a fucking wizard with his play calling, man. It was tough, man. It was really tough, and I thought, dude, everybody's in their fucking bag. We can't get off the fucking field. The only hope is man, just go into halftime, only down a score, and then get the defense some fucking rest and keep them off the field. But yeah, that, like Fatty said, two completely different games, and I just want to say that to pretty much end off what that first part of the game was like.
Yeah, and I mean, so you go ahead and before we get into kind of individual performances, you go and look at our team stats, right? And you cover the score up. You just take the team stats and just cover the score up. I'm looking at it. We have. They were more efficient on third down. They went for it 3 times on fourth down, and they were 2 for 3. They had almost 20 more plays than we did. They had 581 yards as to our 415. They had 14 drives. They averaged 6.6 yards per play, which is actually surprisingly the same. But they passed for 457 yards to our 244. We only outrushed them 171 to 124. Penalties were ideally the same, and we lost the turnover battle. We had 3 turnovers to their none. So it's absolutely just crazy to me.
It's insane how we won this game. I mean, like you said, just you nailed it on the head. Every single stat that could go against us, win against us. It doesn't make sense. It's not the Seahawks. Just in general, their season doesn't make sense when you look at how we win so many games, despite being most in the league in turn. I believe we have the most turnovers in the league. I'm pretty certain.
I'm also isn't our point differential? Are we -1 right now?
That's what they were mentioning. Despite the 11 wins, we're now -1. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and then not only that, but just the efficiency, just the first half of the season, the efficiency of our offense, literally how many fucking games was JSN just catching gigantic bombs for no reason when we only had JSN really. We've had other guys emerge, of course, but this whole season, it's crazy. The efficiency offensively for most of the season, the fact that we've had so many turnovers as well and still end up in these games. I mean, fucking hell, first game, 4 picks from Sam Darnold. We're the best punt of all time ever.
Yeah.
Away from winning that game. It's crazy. Yeah. And also, by the way, Sean McVay does not fucking own Mike Macdonald, okay? He does not fucking own Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald has managed to keep all of these fucking games close despite horrific quarterback play. And we will give Sam his props, but let's be fucking real. Until the third, fourth quarter and overtime, it was bad. It was fucking bad. We're all sitting there fuck, man. We're contemplating is Sam Darnold, is he going to stay? Are we going to actually we're exploring other quarterback options in the group chat, man. We were so down. We were so down.
I was not. I won't take that.
But okay, but
Brody was manifesting Joe Burrow in a Seahawks jersey the first
dude.
three
I
quarters
was
of this game.
tweeting like, okay, cool, 2 first-round picks, Sam Darnold. Like, let's make it. Yeah, man, it's just I don't even get.
Well, and here's another thing too about just the Seahawks in the second half and in overtime in general. Jackson Smith and Jigba was obviously heavily guarded by a reclamation project in Emmanuel Forbes, and the pass rush was getting to Darnold to the point where he had 1 target at half. He finished with 13 targets, 8 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown. But that's not to overshadow Puka Nacua going 12 receptions for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Matt Stafford throwing for 457 yards, averaging 9.3 per
I'm
throw.
playing both of them in fantasy this week, by the way.
Yeah,
that's some BS. Today was pain. Today was pain. Today was pain. 12-1 losing.
Yeah. Another individual performance to follow is the resurgence of Kenneth Walker. He had a vintage Kenneth Walker day today. 11 carries, 100 yards, averaging 9.1 yards a rush, and a pivotal TD on the ground. I thought it was in the air off a screen, but yeah, it was on the ground. And it's just like, this is insane to me. I will look back at this and think on paper the Seahawks should have lost, but I think as people were watching that game, they saw the momentum swing, and it was just so frustrating because the Seahawks had 2-3 chances at the end of regulation to end that game with the Jason Myers kick. But it didn't come down to that, and that's just not how it was going to be.
Yeah, and I just want to real quick finish my point I was making earlier. Sean McVay does not own Mike McDonald, okay? It's right. 2-2, guys. 2-2. And the 2 games that we lost, strictly off of horrific quarterback turnovers. What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? If we just had a quarterback not throw like 2-3, I think Geno threw 3 last year and that lost. Sam threw fucking 4. If we just had 1, maybe 2 turnovers, we win both those games. Mike McDonald owns Sean McVay, it'd be 4-0. So I don't want to hear none of that McVay owns McDonald bullshit. All right.
Well, but here's another thing too, is I just keep looking at that 457 mark. This is game 23 in a row that Seattle has not allowed 100-yard rusher. Kyron Williams only rushed for 70 yards. So this run defense is elite, and it has been ever since Mike McDonald put on the headset. So, I mean, props to him on that. I mean, that 457 to me is glaring, but I mean, like, the Rams offense was one-dimensional. They could not establish the run. And in some cases, they did drop back to pass. And I don't know if it's more of a McVay tendency, but at some point, I'm just like, hey, guys, you can run the ball and just kind of milk a little bit more clock and even have more time of possession. But it just wasn't like that. I think that, Sean McVay, to give him his flowers, he has a very innovative offense. He's obviously, the new trend is to carry 3 tight ends and run that 13 formation a lot.
If I hear 13 personnel one more time.
Yeah. No, but also just the late motions. And I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm thinking that's an illegal shift every single time, but his tight ends are motioning. His Puka Nacua is late motioning. And what that's doing is it's just separating so much at the line of scrimmage to where they were being beat underneath over the top. And it was just a scheme beater for sure. It was very, if I was to look at that as unbiased fan there from these 2 teams, I'm thinking, wow, this was a chess match at the end of the day. Once Seattle was able to pull their weight on offense, this truly was a chess match between Mike McDonald's defense and Sean McVay on offense. And to be honest, it was fireworks all around.
Yeah, so let's get to the second part of this game. Like you mentioned, 2 games being played today. In game 2, all right. First of all, bro, I hope anyone who's doubting Rashid Shaheed, like doubting that trade, that dude has juice that nobody on this team even comes close to having. And there's a handful of people that have that same amount of juice. And he's not just a speed guy either. Okay, like, yeah, his speed is absolutely world-class, right? But he's also a good receiver in his own right, and I wish we used him more, but Rashid Shaheed, absolute fantastic return, puts us right back in the fucking ball game. And then before that, I think it was before that, Kenneth Walker, huge touchdown run. And a lot of people talk about the split, like, oh, why is Kenneth Walker not, getting substantially more carries? First of all, Charbonnet had a good game in his own right, too, I thought. He's not obviously as explosive as Kenneth Walker, but that's why. That's why you have that split, because it's December, and Kenneth Walker not only is on the fucking field, right, but he's explosive as fuck. And he made several plays. And if not for the Cooper Kupp fumble, that 3rd and 16, 17 run was insane.
That was insane. That was luck. That was insane.
Right, but he got hit.
There was no luck in this game, Fatty.
No, that's Kenneth Walker's talent, but that play call is luck.
Oh, for sure. Call. No, it's not like some genius. That's all Kenneth Walker. It's not some genius fucking play.
That was insane. I could not.
That's how they wrote it up, dude.
I forgot.
We'll get to some Kubiak plays here, but that's definitely not one of them. But I mean, obviously that happens, and then like you said, the chess match. The first half, McVay looked like he was winning that, and then the second half just shut him down, just completely shut down. McDonald make fantastic adjustments, and we had to deal with a bunch of injuries too, mind you. Like Kobe Bryant leaves the game early, Nick Warrior leaves the game, so that's 2 key players that were
and Tariq Woolen
had
a knee injury as well. I didn't even see him today.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Tariq Woolen either. Yeah. Tariq Woolen out as well, and despite all that, like obviously overtime touchdown and whatnot, but we were stopping him for a huge portion of that second half, and it allowed us to be able to get the ball and just come back, and we gave our defense a break, so they were able to just finally get the rest that they needed, and the offense finally started clicking. And then obviously Sam Darnold throws that touchdown to AJ Barner, which he needed, man. He fucking needed that. It was a broken.
He overthrew a 6'6" man off his back for a beautiful throw. But AJ Barner, holy shit, dude! Getting up for that. You're getting up 7 feet there to make that catch.
First of all, what a route, by the way. Like that wasn't blown coverage. He cooked that fucking guy. He cooked.
And that's a former blocking tight end in college running that route.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane. And he makes a fantastic grab. And then we got to talk about this. I don't think you'll ever see a crazier 2-point play in your life.
Textbook.
In your life. You're sitting there thinking, okay, you know what? We're still only down 2. We get a stop, even if they get a 3. And then you're like, oh, wait, what the fuck?
I want to know who in the booth. I want to know who in the booth was like, was that a backward pass?
Who in the booth?
Dude, the crowd was like erupting. Dude, the crowd was like erupting, and I'm like, dude, no one knows what's happening. What are you cheering about?
Not a blowing soul, dude. Not a soul. And then you're like,
the play is under review. Yeah. What do you think they're talking about? Because I know you damn well do not know what is going on right now.
Yeah, and then we're like, wait, that's a backward pass. Let's show that one angle. You guys know that one specific angle that shows it perfectly, and everyone's like, that's a fucking backwards pass. That's a backwards pass. What a crazy. You'll never see something like that again. This game had fucking everything, man.
But it wasn't like the refs bailed us out there, because that truly was a backwards pass. And it was a great heads up play by Sharp just to say, hey, I'm going to recover this. I mean, what's the worst case? You're just sitting there with the ball in your hand. Like, give us the damn ball.
Yeah, but no, truly, like, is that the call that Puka Nacua is on fucking X crying about?
I was going to say, Puka earned it. Puka earned every bad call.
About? What call is he crying
He's
about?
already bitching on Twitter. I don't know, J. Ross, if you saw it, but he's already bitching on Twitter about the refs.
Blaming the refs.
He was fined earlier this week for criticizing the refs on a national podcast. And he was also condemned for racist remarks on a stream as well. But that didn't stop him from going for 225 yards and being the Rams' sole offense in the receiving game. But it's just like, you know, if you're going to be like that, that's just the attitude it's going to be. I mean, I think these are the 2 best teams in the NFL squaring off on a short week. Home field advantage proved to be a little bit of a factor, but it was honestly like this was the game of the year. I don't even know if the Super Bowl is going to top this, to be honest with you. I'm willing
to bet it won't.
It won't. There's nothing that will top this.
Even if the Seahawks don't convert that, and we're sitting here pissed, that is the game of the year. Because percentage-wise, Sam Darnold throws that pick, and ESPN gave LA a 98.5% chance to win, and it was a
Can you name genuinely? I know, like, let's not be nostalgia merchants here, because obviously we do love the Legion of Boom days and whatnot. This might be the craziest Seahawks game I think I've ever witnessed. Just in terms of so much crazy shit happened. So much improbable.
It's this or that Packers NFC Championship game.
That's what I was going to say.
That's those two for me. And to me, it's neck and neck. So much shit Oh my God, so much shit that will never happen
Or
again.
back in 2019 when we beat the Niners on the road in overtime. When they were undefeated. That was another good one too. But this one's up here. Like this one is up here. I'm like, I just don't think and I really am excited to see what the national narratives are going to be, because literally all of it was Matt Stafford MVP, Puka Nacua is all of a sudden the best in the NFL, even though JSN literally exists, and the whole narrative, they popped it up 7 times. Sam Darnold is the Rams his kryptonite is the Rams. He threw 4 picks. And the storyline was getting there when he was, 1 for 2 with touchdowns to picks. But then he seriously locked in. There was not a point in time when Seattle locked in, because they lost the game so many times, even going into overtime. It was just that the Seattle hung in there on the ropes and responded. There was not a time where Seattle goes, okay, I'm done with this. They just hung in the game and played the game exceptionally well those last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and just the last, obviously the game tied 30-30. Both teams make, I think, multiple very good stops, and then you get to overtime. And this is obviously before the Seahawks drive. Very unfortunate, just inches away. Another crazy factor of this game. Inches away from an Ernest Jones interception to end the fucking game, pretty much. Just that close away, and then that barely gets called the other direction, and then they score a touchdown. Just another crazy. Just the football truly is a fucking game of inches. Truly.
And the football gods were in our favor, because we could have said, "Oh, if Cooper Kupp didn't fumble there, we would have won in regulation." Well, the Rams kicker signed off the practice squad, who's been 8 for 8 and not even as long in terms of 48-yarder, and just shanks it. So it's just like they gave us that back. And once he gave us that back, oh man.
Before I finish, I want since you bring that up, I don't see how either fan can be like, well, this and this lucky thing happened. This and that. Everything was lucky. Both sides had lucky shit go on, dude. It was absolutely crazy.
That's exactly
both teams had
that
good
2-point conversion is definitely going to get people. Rams fans are going to complain about that all day tomorrow. They're going to say the 2-point conversion.
But it's by the books, and they reviewed it right away. It wasn't like after the fact. It
wasn't robbery. It was it was a real play. It happened. It wasn't also a robbery at all. Fault. That was the right call. Fault. But we go down 37-30, and you're like, shit. Oh my God, the game it just might be over at this point. I mean, what has Sam Darnold shown you to be he's going to claw back? And man, this was Sam Darnold's breakout moment right here. This was Sam Darnold's. I'm not seeing ghosts anymore. He gets the monkey off of his back and just delivers an amazing, amazing clutch game-winning drive. I mean, you got the dime to JSN. You got the dime to Cooper Kupp. Great catches by both of those guys, by the way.
Absolutely.
Dimes up JSN in the back of the end zone. Very calm, because he was getting pressure that entire drive. Obviously nobody got home to him, but he dealt with pressure there. Dime in the back of the end zone to JSN. And then Clint Kubiak, by the way. What a fucking awesome play call. You got Saubert, recently extended. Little chip block. Or they're in man. The guy guarding him is completely backed off. Little chip block. Wide open, bang. The Seahawks won the ball game, man. Wow. And that was just huge for Sam Darnold, man. That was huge. He needed that. If Sam Darnold lost this game, I don't know how he responds. Seriously, right. I don't. I feel like to me, if we lost this game, it would have felt like season's kind of over. Even though obviously we got playoffs and we could make a run. But this was huge for Sam. He needed this so badly, more than anybody in the entire league.
Yeah, he made some great throws down the stretch, and honestly, he did kind of have a Kirk Cousins in primetime narrative to him. And what better way than on national primetime to prove the doubters wrong there? And really, I know you talk about Clint Kubiak, and he did have some beautiful play calling, toward the end of the game there. But here's my thing: is we talked about it, I think in episode 1, if not in episode 1.5. I don't think, even after a win, or if Seattle was to make a deep run in the playoffs, that he is head coaching candidate material. And that's not me saying I want to keep him. I just think that he needs more experience as a play caller. But what we need to get down to brass tacks here about, like how the offense is inefficient is this isn't an offensive coordinating problem. This is a Mike Macdonald identity problem. I mean, he calls a, stone cold defense, and he has, he calls the plays, but he wants to run this outdated style of running the football, and it just causes us to stall, and then you're forcing throws. It causes turnover. So I know I was pretty critical of Ryan Grubb last year, and I have been critical of Clint Kubiak over Sam Darnold in our losses or our tight wins, but it's just like, I honestly think this team needs more time to grow together, like another year or even a year after that. Maybe upgrade the personnel a little bit on the offensive line and in the receiving room. Like, I just don't think – I mean, there's going to be plenty of candidacies out there in the coaching carousel, but I just don't think we're in danger of losing Clint Kubiak. And I don't know if Clint Kubiak's really going to want to go and coach a dumpster fire, whereas he can stay and grow as a play caller. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just kind of my take. Win or lose or tie in this game. That's how I felt like at halftime.
Yeah. Were you guys a little surprised to see him go for 2 at the end of that game? I know that was 100% what you're supposed to do there, but for some reason in the back of my mind, I was like, Mike Macdonald, I could see him playing conservative, even though there was no reason not to go for 2. I just had a weird feeling in the back of my head.
I think because it was overtime, that forced his hand a little bit. I feel like if it was in regulation, he wouldn't have. Any time that he could be conservative, he would not do that. So I was a little surprised. Then we played the game of we're coming out in this. They take a timeout. We're coming out in this. We take a timeout. So it's just like, shit, man. Now I don't know. After Seattle took the timeout, I don't know if we're going to just roll out Jason Myers there and tie the game and just, root for the defense to get a stop. I don't know what I would have done in that situation either. I think that it paid off. And I feel like if we didn't get it, it was still the right thing to do.
100%.
Yeah, it was.
They said in the broadcast too. I mean, the Rams had the tiebreaker, so a tie didn't do us anything. We needed a tie was a loss.
Yeah,
if anything, the tie just puts the Niners like even more in the mix.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, obviously, like let's say you do kick the extra point, even if you get the ball back, you've probably used all your timeouts, and you got only so much time to drive the ball down the field. The offense was on a fucking heater to drive down the field. It was fantastic. I had no doubt we would go for 2, and I'm glad we did. Like Fatty said, even if we didn't get it, it was the right call.
100%.
And it friggin' paid off, man. Friggin' paid off.
You know what was crazy to me too is in the fourth, even after we tied it up, there was multiple chances there for Matt Stafford to drive down the field and win the game. And if you had to pick a quarterback in the NFL to drive down the field and win the game, it would be Matt Stafford. And I was fully expecting us to somehow find a way to blow it, and we didn't. And that was pretty electric to see, because I was waiting for that dagger, and it kind of came in overtime, but we pulled the dagger out and stitched it up real quick and survived. But
yeah,
insane.
I mean, again, what a fantastic game! What a truly fantastic game. But this game's wrapped up. The Seattle Seahawks, we got 2 more games remaining, I believe. Is it in Carolina or at home against Carolina?
It's at Carolina. This was the last time you might see the Seahawks at home, unless they do host a playoff game. They're at Carolina, who has something to play for, and then at San Francisco. And the margin of error for the Seahawks to drop either of those games is 0, because if we do tie with the Rams, they supersede us there. So they would be getting the first seed if we were both tied at 13-4. That being said, we still could block the Niners from making a significant jump, because the Bears have a lot to play for next week. They do play the Colts. I don't know if they're going to struggle against the Colts like we did. But now, so it's just going to come down to it. The Rams have a cakewalk to win out. So they will be 13-4. They play the Falcons, and then they wrap up the year with the Cardinals, who will just be, walking out their second string, third string to end the year. But yeah, the Niners have the Bears, and then they have us after the Colts. So it's going to be a tight 3-way finish here. But I honestly think a win like this in this fashion gives Seattle a whole lot of momentum. We have an extra 4 days to rest those micro injuries. Hopefully, Eamon Worry passes the concussion protocol before Sunday, and those secondary injuries are minor, and maybe we can hopefully see Charles Cross. But with Mike McDonald being 13-1 on the road all time as a head coach, you like your odds. You just really hope we can pull one out against the Niners, who are going to have a lot to play for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess any final words from either of you guys before we close out? We got a busy week ahead. If you guys didn't see it, we did drop an episode earlier this week. We'll call it episode 1.5. Just reacting to that Colts game against Grandpa Rivers, talking a little bit of Kraken, talking a little bit of Mariners. But next week, we'll be back to our normal schedule. Expect the video out on Wednesday. Brody, Fatty, anything else you want to drop in?
What a win for Seattle. It was a great win. The city deserved it. The uniforms looked pretty cool. I fucking love those helmets. Happy holidays to everybody watching this episode. We're going to still record the week of Christmas, but you'll likely see it after the new year, or maybe just before New Year's Eve. So happy holidays to everybody. Kraken lost again. Fuck my life. Blow it all up. But yeah, I'm very happy to be bringing this show into the new year.
Yeah, fantastic win. I just hope we stay locked in against the Panthers, man. I mean, they're a sneaky team. The reason we're even in the division lead right now is because of the Panthers upsetting the Rams. 2 games that we certainly can't take lightly. Other than that, man, shout out UW men's soccer. Natty winners. Big time dubs.
You had to get a national championship at some point. Yeah, had to do it. At least the soccer team can pull through. Yeah, football sure as hell wasn't going to do it, so might as well have it be soccer.
And that is coming from a Wazoo Cougar. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, guys. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Episodes every week. This will get posted on the Spotify, so that'll be something fun and new.
Yep, listen to it on the car.
Yeah. Absolutely, the boys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't watch it while you're driving. Only listen.
Listen while you're driving, but like show your grandma, be like, hey, Christmas Eve, like didn't get you a gift. Here's a new podcast to listen to weekly. Get all your Seattle sports stuff. And they say bad words in it, but it's just because they're passionate.
Absolutely. And we'll end on that. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.